Hi, as we are on the topic of microteaching, I've selected a topic which is known as logical algebra. In this topic, while discussing logical algebra with the class, we'll also be doing class inclusion, where the students will interact and in fact participate in group activities, and they'll learn more on hands-on teaching, meaning like every student will be given a chance to discuss in the group activities, and the topics and the questions will give, everybody will have a chance to formulate those answers in algebraic form. So I've chosen this topic because algebra and calculus are most hardest things in mathematics, where children have given up in mathematics. So I want them to understand how algebra is logically making sense, meaning a word which is a question which is given in words. How do you describe it in numbers, and then convert it into empty boxes, plus and addition and subtraction form, and then finally using x and y's and forming a algebraic formula. So in this topic, I'll be discussing it with the class, and I'll be going very thoroughly. And at the end of the class, I'm expecting the children to learn algebra very easily and make logical sense, and how to apply it in their daily lives, and how mathematics can be used by using the daily living as an example. So we'll go directly into our topic and see how we go about it. Thank you. Good day, everyone. Today we'll be discussing on the topic logical algebra. Logical algebra. I don't know most of you are familiar with the topic algebra, but this is logical algebra. Okay. How we'll go about doing this is we'll divide it into group activities so that you can further understand this. Why I'm saying this is logical algebra is just because you have to understand how we come to the formulas of algebra. You start with arithmetic, with a simple question, and then you formulate it into a formula where you have x and y's, which gives you algebra. So the first thing we're going to do is, since our class is made of 35 students, you'll divide yourself into two groups, group A and group B. Now, firstly, the group A will be consisting of 17 students, and then group B will be of 18. It gives us a total of 35. So the easier way to do it is, I want you to select yourself in two groups. Try to differentiate yourself who loves English and who loves mathematics. So this will be the English group, and this will be mathematics. So it's easier for you to divide, and there wouldn't be much hassle. Okay, I'll give you time to divide yourselves, and then we'll go forth from there. Thank you. Okay. Now, since you have divided yourself into two groups, I would like both the groups to come up with a formula. For example, I'll give you an example. Let's say your total number was 30 or 25. Let's say your total number was 25. So group A and group B had 13, and the other one had 12, which gives you a total of 25. Now this is in arithmetic form. For example, group AGA plus 12, which is group B, which is equals to 25, or this plus 12 equals 25. So I want you to come up with a formula like this so that you can understand this first. Remember, your group is divided into 17 and 18. So you'll have to use something like this, and I want you to come up with the formula. And make sure leave it as an empty box first, and then we'll go forward from there to converting it to algebra. Thank you. Yeah, during your discussion, I've seen you guys are asking if there would be two formulas or one formula. So just to clarify, since group A has got oh, group A has got 18, 17, right? And then group B has got 18. So you'll do one for the square box will be for group A, that's 17, and then the rest, the second one you'll do square box for group B. I hope that clarifies that you have to make two formulas, and then we'll discuss it. You can go in your group discussion and make these formulas, and we'll come back to it. So both of the groups, I've seen your answers. One, so your answers were A plus 18, yes, equals 35. Was the other one? 17 plus B, 35. Okay. So this is okay. This was in a box, right? So you know this is group A and group B. Now solving this would be very easy. You know what to replace with. Now I want you to do one more thing. Now I want you to go for a difference of 3. One group has right now 18 and the other is 17. So quickly decide which one, who will go where, and then you have. Remember, I want the least, the group which has the least number, 17, to now increase with a difference of 3. So, for example, one group will be 15 and the other one will be, what will the other one be? 12, right. So, I want this group, the one which had less number, to have more numbers or a difference of 3 compared to the other group. So, group A will have more numbers than group B. Do this, I want to see, and then formulate your formula. I will see who gets it right. Good. So we'll go into those formulas. You can see now the formulas came to right 19 plus D, since we had the same total, which was equals to 35, and the other one was 8 plus 16, which gives you a difference of 3, which is okay, 35. Now this is what you have logically thought, and this is what you have improvised and came after I have told you that the first group needs to increase by 3. So after looking at this, you should know that every question given to you in words or arithmetic form, you should know and understand that all this comes in an algebraic form, meaning using x and y's. Mostly when you see x and y's, you might feel a little bit frightened or scared, just because it's algebra. When people say algebra or calculus, people are afraid of it. So I want you to understand that every question or everything which is implied in our lives, in our daily living. For example, I told you to divide the class into 2. So it's just simple calculations. One is 16, one is 19. The total still gives 35. So instead of one being 16 and 19, instead of that 19 number, we put A, and that 16 number we will put B. So this is how it comes. So this is how algebra is brought into logical thinking, and this is how the formulas comes up. So we'll go further into using x and y so that you can understand it further. Okay, we'll give you a break for just 5 to 8 minutes for you to discuss and come up with the formula. Remember, I want one side to be x plus that number is equals to y plus whatever number, and then you have to prove by showing me the solution, that what was in place of x and what was in place of y and how this is equal to each other. Okay, so I'll give you 5 to 8 minutes, solve it, and then we'll discuss this. Now we'll move forward. First, we'll go into the algebraic forms. Algebraic forms. So the two formulas I've told you to get was the difference of 3, 19, plus, now we'll substitute the group A and the group B's by using the x and the y's. So 19 plus x is equals to 35. That's your formula 1. Formula 2, which we came up with, was um, y plus 16 is equals to 35. Now, since we have got our algebraic form now, in terms of x and y's, I want you to solve this and give me as your answers in x and y's, and then finally equate both equations. Equate it and make sure both sides will be equal to, like 0 is equals to 0. So it comes to both sides should give you the same answers. After solving for your x and y's, equate both equations into putting it together on both equal sides, and let's see if you can get both answers as equal. Solve it and see. I'll see the final answers. I'll give you some time to discuss it, and then we'll see if you can get this as your final solutions as well. Now, solving for this would be very simple. I've seen some of you doing it, and I think you've got the concept. Now, removing this 19 would be using basic addition and subtraction as we discussed. Minus 19, this will remove this, and this will be minus 19. So over here, x will be 16. You've got your x as 16 in this, and now your y. Y is plus 16, so you minus 16. Minus 16 on this side, this will cancel off, and then you'll get y is equal to 19. So now you've got your x and y's solved. And the final thing was, as I told you, to equate both equations so that you have the answers both equal to each other. I mean, both equating to each other, and it should be balanced on both sides. So how do we do that? It will be very simple. All you have to do is 19 plus x is equals to y plus 16. So we both know that this x and this y was already solved. So if we place this by 16 and this by 19, the answer will be 35, equating to 35. So now you've seen that now both sides are balanced, and you have also formed your formulas in algebraic forms and also have solved it, and it becomes relatively easy when you see it like this. If there's any questions or anything, you can ask me, and we'll go forward from here. Thank you. So your time is up, and I've seen your discussion. So the final solution which we came up with was 19 plus x, which we discussed in the first place, goes to 35, correct? Right. Second one was we are using y plus 16 is equals to 35. So the first one we had already solved it. We got the answer of x was equals to 16. Right. Second one, how do you solve this? Was, since it's plus, you minus 16. Minus 16. You have y is equals to 19. So how do we equate it so that we can see both sides is equal? So 19, use the first one, and then the second one. Just like your groups have done, 19 plus rows x, 16. Equals, then the second formula would be 19 plus 16. So, of course, this is equal, right? Now, what we have to do over here is just to understand the 35 definitely is equals to 35. Now, the basics in this is using subtraction and addition only, but we have solved not only how a mystery box is solved or how you can put a simple questions which is in words into an algebraic form, is how we understand the question. For example, x, like when we see x, let's not look at it as a big problem, like, oh, it's algebra or calculus. Look at it as a problem. Look, apply it in a real world. For example, your class, you had total of 35. So 35, the 19 we separated. Just separate your 19, or just count 19, or you have a 35, just write 35, or just mark streaks, and then you write 19, you cross off 19, and the rest remaining will give you the total. So this is how x is formed in algebra, or y is formed. It's not really hard. It's not rocket science, as we always say. Um, Mathematics is very simple. All you need to know is how to apply it in our daily lives and how to understand it logically so it makes sense. For example, if I'm putting a number of 35 and over here I have put 19 already, which is almost 20, I can't have an answer over here which is 100. If I plus this, obviously it will be more than the answer. So it should make a logical sense to you. I hope you have understood this, and your questions and everything I have explained to you. Um, you did not understand about how to equate it and all this, but now I put it in simple words so you can see. Every time you're solving an algebra, remember that there is always two parts of it. You can always do a reversal and find out. For example, once you find your x, you have to put it back into the formula and then find out if this tells you 35. Or you can also do this. Um, Example would be 19 equals to 35 minus, you got your answer is 16. So you can always reverse it. You'll also get 19 is equals to 19. So you can equate it like this also. So think out of the box. Don't think it's hard. Go slowly and try to understand everything, the concept of algebra. Algebra is, as I said, it's a when we apply it in our daily lives, what we think of the numbers as your environment, try to think of certain things which makes it easier to understand. I hope you've understood it. And if you need any more, if you have any more clarification, you can ask me. I'll be able to help you. Thank you very much. I hope this new topic of logical algebra will be teaching it. And if there is any other questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you.